पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितं भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी.
Verse 9. Verse 9.
Janma Mrityu.
The previous page. You have just not.
Okay.
The last para.
Right. Janma Mrityu Jara, seeing the limitations of life in general. The next value is seeing clearly that in birth.
Swamiji, 1 minute. Can we go through that Anahankara again? Because yesterday.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Prashant, why is your video hazy? Hazy and
Because there is no light on his face.
No light on your face.
The tube light is stopped here. I have to check why it is. That's what I was checking. I didn't check before, so I'll fix it.
சரி, அனஹங்காரால் படிங்க கொஞ்சம் திருப்பி. அனஹங்காரா முந்தின இது.
Anahankara is the sense of I, me and mine. The absence of these notions is only possible in the wake of knowledge. Since Anahankara is presented as a value here, it cannot be the total absence of Ahankara, which is the aftermath of Jnana. Anahankara in the limited sense used here is the absence of pride. What makes a person proud? One may have physical beauty or accomplishment or a good mind or some possessions. Presenting oneself in the reflection of that glory is pride. A young man wearing an unbuttoned shirt to show off his broad chest adorned with a gold chain is proud. The chest he inherited from his father and the chain was given to him by his mother. His only accomplishment is not buttoning the shirt. Because of some artistic or intellectual endowments that are purely inborn gifts, you may have some pride, or it may be because of some knowledge or skills you have acquired. If you find you have nothing to boast of, you can talk about the greatness of your ancestors. All this arrogance is born of ignorance of the fact that everything you have is given to you. The body, mind and senses are given to you to develop the potentials that are given to you. Potentially, you are capable of knowing, and the faculty of thinking and a world full of things to know are given to you. What you have accomplished is really nothing. When you understand this, there is absence of pride, anahankara. Lack of thinking alone makes a person proud. Even a little understanding, you are left with a sense of wonder, not pride. You will wonder who has given you all this. A very simple believer will say that it is God. That appreciation can be more informed until finally he understands what God is. An agnostic will simply wonder who or what has given all this, and if he wants to know who that person is, that wonder converts him into an inquirer, jignasu. If he knows from his cultural background that the Shastra says that Brahman is the cause of the world, he becomes a Brahma jignasu. The direction of this inquiry depends on how informed one is. What is Ahankara in this? Where is Ahankara in this? There is only inquiry involving a learning person, a doing person, an enjoying person, and nothing else. Pride has no place, and thus there is Anahankara in a limited sense. Swamiji, in the last paragraph, can you explain?
What he says is basically, everything, every value, there is a relative sense and there is an absolute sense. Absolute sense is the sense, the Kshetrajna, that what you have described before, Kshetrajna or Swarupa, is all this, these values are very natural. The sense, a person who knows that my Swarupa is the being, my Swarupa is Aham Brahmasmi, Atma. Atma, if I know, then whatever I have, whether it is any accomplishment or height, weight, whatever, everything, he will not get ingrained in himself and say, and have an ahankara. Ahankara meaning superimposing what doesn't belong to you on you. That is the ultimate. Like that, once the understanding is talked about, that is what he says. Even once a person does the inquiry and understands that being is the reality, aham is the reality, not ahankara. Ahankara is a false personality. Ahankara is a false personality. That such a person who is endowed with various things, instruments and all that, car, is a person. The person, suppose he has a car. Car definitely is only his belonging. He cannot put his ego and pride along with the car. In the sense, just because I own a Mercedes Benz, you can't expect people to look at you as a person with a Mercedes Benz. If you with the Mercedes Benz is your identity, that is called ahankara. If you look at Mercedes Benz as a vehicle that is owned by you, then you are in touch with reality, even at the relative level. So, the ahankara is a false personality which you have unnecessarily superimposed certain belongings to you as part of your personality. So, that is where that is what is called pride. That pride, what happens, you will get more and more ingrained with all your possessions, you will be after it, that is yoga kshemam will drive your life. What you want, what you have acquired, you will like to retain. What is going to go away from you, somehow you want to possess. So you won't allow anything to go away from you, and whatever you possess, you want to retain. So all the time, your life will be totally dedicated to retaining your possessions and ensure that nothing goes away from you. Raga and Desha will manage you. And Raga and Dvesha is basically your mental, your mindset. So your mindset will start controlling you rather than you controlling the mind. So even at the relative level, pride will only distract you from the realities of life. Even at because any possession will stay with you for some time. After some time, it will lose its value with reference to your life, or it may lose its value in the absolute sense because it is always born is gone. Anything that comes to you will always decay. Whatever comes to grow for some time, then will plateau and then decay. There is a reality. So if you start associating totally your mind with what you have, every time it grows, you will be happy. Every time it declines, you will be unhappy. So every time nothing happens, you will say, what? Nothing is happening, it's not improving. So all the time you will be worried, you will be concerned person. So that pride does not give you happiness. What if you are looking for happiness, that pride is not going to. So at that relative level itself, that sort of a personality development is not helpful in life. That is what he says, anahankara. Then, if you really look at it more seriously from the Shastra point of view, everything is given to you. So everything is given to you. What is given to you cannot be you. You are there. That is why it is given to you. So once you know very well everything is given by Ishvara, then what are you? That inquiry will become a jignasu. Then you will understand that you will inquire into the reality of aham rather than living with ahankara. The kara will go away. In the sense you will understand your reality is the being. How will you know everything is given to you? Then if everything is given to you, what is I? What am I? That inquiry will come. There is a possibility of such an inquiry. But if you are so much carried away with your personality and all your possessions, that is ahankara, you are going to be basically unhappy all the time, comparing and contrasting, all the time worried. So you will be even at the relative level, you will not be a happy person. And absolute inquiry to dur ki baat hai. You will not even try to look at what is reality in life. You will be just carried away. You will be, you will be totally dictated by your whims and fancies, your ragas and deshas, your personality. Protecting your personality will become your real job in life. So So both at the relative level and at the absolute level, ahankara is not a desirable quality. That's what he is trying to explain. Absence of self-importance in terms of your personality, and that also implies that you don't understand really self. What is your reality? What is given to you? What is Ishvara's role? What is your reality? All those things you don't have an idea. You just live by your whims and fancies. So that is also not a good sign. So both ways, relatively and permanent, at the absolute level also, ahankara has no justification to be in part of your life. So you have to get away from that. You have to, in small and big ways, you have to dissociate, or you have to keep an eye on whether my possession is trying to make myself totally identified with it. That will come again. Next also will come in relation to that only. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, all those things are in relation to that. Because once you get identified with your possessions, then your family becomes your possession. Your own putre nashtaha, aham nashtaha, putre pritaha, aham pushtaha. Any problem in his son's life, is my problem. So all those extensions will come. First aham buddhi, aham becomes ahankara, then ahankara related mamakara, then makyam. Aham, mama, makyam. Makyam means anything associated with mama and my family becomes makyam. Then you have pride in that. No, that my clan is like that. I am from this gotra and I am from that gotra. So we are all Atre gotra people. We are all, so that sort of a clan mentality. Then caste, all those things. Your only concerns increase. You don't really understand the reality. That will come later. But first thing at first level is ahankara. Even at the even the beginning, Bhashyakara, he started 2:11. He told Arjuna, since Bhashya's first is the 2:11 that what is Asocyan and Asocastvam, the Bhashya, Shankara says, you talk so much, Prajnam Vadam Bhasya say, so much you talked about, it looked very sensible what you told. But at the base of all these things is basically because you have got this aham mama buddhi. What will happen? My people, what will happen? If I kill all of them, people will, all the kulas and gotras will get destroyed. What is there for me to, who is going to appreciate me? Even if I win the war, everyone is going around whom I would like them to appreciate me. They will not be around to appreciate me. Then who is going to appreciate me? So your aham mama buddhi is dictating to you, no, we should not be playing this war. Whereas the reality of coming to war is protect dharma. So your duty you are forgetting, you are so much engrossed with your aham mama buddhi. That is how Shankara starts the Bhashyam from 2:11 onwards. The first entire context of the war, even though Krishna elaborates, Shankara does not give Bhashyam for that. Why? Because the tatparya of the whole Shastra is to clarify what is your reality. Aham mama buddhi, what is that aham? You are so much associated with. That is where the problem. So that is why. That is also the ahankara is the root cause of our problem basically, because we are so much identified not only with our body, mind, senses, all our the body's height is, body's beauty is my beauty. Body's height is my height. Body is fat, I am fat. So aham mama mahyam, it drives you. That means you are driven by a fictitious personality rather than the reality is lost on you. So even the possibility of inquiring into the reality will not occur to you as long as you are dictated by all these things. So that is why you have to look at it. You have to look at it objectively. What is it? That's what he says. What everything is given, including your body is given by your mother, your education is given by your teachers. What is there for you to be proud about? So that even at the relative level, if you look at it, analyze it, very scrutinize it, you have no reason to be proud. If at all there is a food on your plate, so many farmers are working, so many the rain gods are working, everything, because of that you are getting food on your plate. So all this, so if you analyze the whole life, there is no reason, there is no place for pride in your life. Pride meaning ahankara, the relative sense. Once you have that sort of an objective attitude, then you will have an, okay, everything is given, then what is the reality? I want to be a fulfilled person. Everything is given to me, there is nothing to be proud about, then what am I? Then only Shastra will be able to tell you, no, you are the central piece of the whole creation. Your reality is the reality of the whole Jagat, all the devas and other things. Then the Shastra will be able to put some thought-provoking ideas in terms of jignasa. That's what he says. You can become a jignasa, you will inquire. For you to inquire, you must have, your basics should be right. The basics are wrong, you are not going to inquire. You will be carried away with whatever is happening around. That's what he says. Both at the relative level and at the absolute level, ahankara has no place in your life. That's what he says.
Swamiji, actually, in our life, what happens is we are taught to feel proud of what we have done right through.
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely there, because everyone is in the same boat. See, everyone is in the same boat, so they pass on. Whatever they are learning or unlearning, they pass on to the next generation.
See, for
Or
example,
the people around. So it's all in the sense, you pass me, I pass you. That doesn't mean both of us are right.
see when
So
it,
the societal norms has not helped any person to be a happy person.
yeah,
Then you must relook at it. No, you cannot go by societal norms. Okay, we have grown like this, we come up to this, but I find that, okay, irrespective of whatever I have achieved in life, whatever I have done, everything, even though everything is happening, okay, plus minus, I'm not a fan in the sense, okay, I can only reconcile myself, okay, I'm better off than many people. That's all. But in the absolute sense, I cannot say that I am a fulfilled person. That sense of not being fulfilled will be the nucleus. From there, you will do this inquiry. If you get past yourself, no, everything is okay, everyone wants us to be proud and all that, so I am proud, okay, my family accepts me, and people around me are happy with me, I am happy with them, okay, and leave it. Then the inquiry cannot start. But if you really analyze the way in which it is being discussed, then you will understand that everything but all you have achieved anything in life, it's because you have been at the right place at the right time. That's all. Anything there could have been a lot of gap between the cup and the lip. Anything could have gone wrong. So all, that is why then we say everything is Ishvara. That we say, okay, by saying that everything is Ishvara, we give some credit to Ishvara and forget about him. But later when we discuss with others, when somebody says you have done so much, so well in life, correct, I have done so well in life. So, in the sense, it all gets passed as glossed over. It's all very shallow way of looking at life. Since we have to grow, we have to look at it very deeply and see what very value is being talked about in the relative sense as well as in the absolute sense. How it will make us look deeply within what is the reality of life. Then that only can, in the sense, unless you claim your reality as what the Shastra talks about in terms of the being, that my being is there, Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, right now, here and now, I am the being. My body, mind, senses are only instruments in my hands. My name, fame and all that, it's all part of that, what you call a transactional life, family and all that, it's all that. For Vyavahara, it is useful. Yes, it's available, it is transactional, and it is prayojana, whatever work I have to do in terms of family, office and all that, it has its own use, temporarily, relatively. For Kale, they are all Satyavat Bhati, that's all fine. We have to be doing that. But in the absolute sense, what is my reality? That reality, unless I am at all times being a happy person without being buffeted by the things that are happening around me, then only I can say really that I am a happy person. Otherwise, if I don't take cognizance of that understanding, I will definitely, everything will look okay. For 10 days, it will look okay. 11th day, if something happens, then what is this? Oh, everything I have done well. Dharma, I have been doing good puja, good everything. Something bad happening. Why is it happening? That time you will question what is happening. instead of looking at what is why it has landed there. It's because changing is going to change. You can't have it all the time your way. Because you really, even in the relative sense, we don't know exactly what is happening around. If at all everything is happening okay, it's because so happened that you are in the right place at the right time. You can say so happened maybe by, okay, all my punya is coming to fructification. But once the punya gets exhausted, once your papa, whatever little papa has done, suppose you have done some a particular animal got injured because of you. When you get injury, you will say, yeah, that day I really kicked the dog, no, that's why my leg is giving me problem today. So, this sort of, again it will be a justification of prarabdha, when it's arrived. So, all those justifications will come in bad times as well as in good times. In good times, generally we will forget, in bad times we will say prarabdha. Actually, your good time also is equally prarabdha, that we forget. So, in the sense, for your holistic understanding, overall understanding of life, you must be able to look at all these the values in a very objective fashion rather than going by, okay, the society is like this, so I will all be like this. That way, you are only glossing over things. You are not really looking deep into the realities of life, even at the relative level. Relative level, every sentence what is being told in Anahankara, what Swamiji says is very true. Everything is given to you. You have no reason to be proud. Even though you may say that I have done so much of qualification, I have done got so much of job, but everywhere hidden forces have helped you. You have been at the right place at the right time. Anything could have gone wrong. Just because certain things have not gone wrong in your life, you can't say that I have done it. And when something goes wrong, you can't say it's all prarabdha. Then you have to own up that also. Every failure of yours, you have to own up. And every success of yours, you have to own up. That we are generally not willing to do that. Because we want to make a success of life. Failure is something which is not acceptable. Because basically you are success. But basically your success means what? By understanding. By understanding is the changeless is my reality. That is the only way you can be successful all the way. And you want to be successful all the way. If you scrutinize every moment in life, you don't want a moment to pass where you are not a happy person. Even though, as long as you don't get to that understanding, you will feel, okay, it doesn't matter, 90% of my day is okay, 10% if it is bad, it's okay, I'm acceptable. Because as of now, you don't have a way out. You don't, even though your basic sense is for 100% satisfaction in life, you are not able to see the reality. How I can be 100% fulfilled person in life? That is what Shastra is doing. You are 100% fulfilled person because of your reality. You are changeless with your reality. Everything else is changing. The changing you deal with as changing, transactional. Do whatever you can. Do that. You don't short circuit dharma. Whatever is appropriate to the given situation, keep doing. If the changing situations are going to be changing, and what I have got to do, you will not invest your happiness in that. Once you invest your happiness in that, you will take shortcuts. Somehow I have to be doing this. Somehow I have to make it happen. Because in that happening only my success and my happiness stays, then you will make it somehow happen. But 90% of the time, you will do it dharma. But for 10% of the time, if it is adharma also, it's okay, as long as I am successful. Nobody has seen it, nobody has seen it, I will just do it. So, dharma will be compromised. That's what Chiketa says. Dharma and adharma is very relative. You cannot all the time hold on to dharma and adharma, become a happy person. Even if you are a dharmic, you have to look at the reality beyond what is dharma and adharma. That comes only with the reality understanding. For that reality understanding, you have to be relatively having the infrastructure where you don't have these crutches all the time looking for pomp and pleasure and approval from others, and society says I have to, as long as I'm doing like this, I'm okay. You are going to be caught in the props in life. You will not be able to grow beyond that. You will not be able to look into all these things objectively. It will not make sense to you. And unless this makes sense, and you really praise above this, then only we can become a jignasu. That's what he says. So, only when you become an inquirer, that is how, instead of looking at everything as my own happening, I have done it and all that, you must be able to wonder how it is all happening so beautifully. Oh, what is the connection? So once you start wondering, then you will become a jignasu. Then you will really look at life more objectively, more scrutinize it, scrutiny. Life's understanding requires scrutiny. Then, yes, yeah, okay, there's no reason for me to be proud about that. Okay, whatever the good things happen, fine. Keep doing it, but let me understand life. Then the relative sense of keeping yourself away from pride will lead you to inquiry. That is what is the whole setup is. All values are like that. That is why, although these values are relatively also okay, but even as a relative value, people will really try to understand this only if they are interested in getting an infrastructure where they want to inquire into life's understanding. So first, we must have a real value for this understanding. Then for that mumukshutvam, then for that my life should have more of viveka and vairagya. And then all these values, then only my internal setup will be ready. In spite of whatever is happening around, I will be doing whatever I need to do. At the end of the day, I will come and spend time with the understanding, and I will grow in that understanding. So, for you to grow in that understanding, you need to have an infrastructure. For you to have that infrastructure, you need these values, and these values are not just qualifications like in for becoming a graduate, you have to be a BUC and all that. No, this is your understanding of your own realities, your own life realities. Even there is a lot of this, relative level also, we have got a lot of cobwebs in our mind. Unless we get rid of that, we will not have a clear thinking as to what is then. If everything is given, I always tell the people here also, I tell, if everything is given, what am I? But everything is given, that understanding should be so very thorough. Everything is given to me. It is not only when I go to the temple. Even in other times also, I must know that everything, every bit of my qualification, my riches, my capabilities, even my deformities, my good, bad things in life, everything is given. And I am only the being in charge of this life as a managing trustee. Then only you will, okay, if everything is given, then what am I? The question will come. Then the question has the answer. It's a simple answer. But the question has to come. The jignasu has to come into your life. Then only this can happen. That is why all these values are discussed in so detail. So you must have a feel for it. Yes, I have to look at it this way. Then only you will be able to look at it in that fashion. Yeah.
Swamiji, one doubt, Swamiji. If everything is given, like you said, we cannot take pride of it. At the same time, when things are not given to you, you are in trouble. Then how to face that? Like, because it is not
even everything is given. When I say
you're proud.
Everything is both the good, supposedly good things and supposedly bad things. So when you accept the supposedly good things with gratitude, you will be able to face the difficult situations also with the equal sense of prayer. Because gratitude comes from where you are accepting the fact that everything is given to you from Ishvara. So when a bad situation comes also, you will remain aligned with Ishvara. And you will pray and you will do whatever is needed to be done, and the rest of the things is Ishvara. So the alignment with Ishvara happens only when you sincerely accept that everything is given to you. That is, there is nothing called, when you say everything is given to me, you will not even look at them as good or bad. The good or bad is basically because you think that you have acquired something and you have got into some trouble because of alienation from Ishvara. But if you are not alienated from Ishvara, if everything is given, everything is one big samashti. In that, something comes to you, something is taken away from you. Sometimes everything is So because of your value system, in the sense you have a value, but you have grown that way. Like as you said, everyone wants me to be proud, everyone wants me to be boasting and all that. That's how we grow up. But once we get the understanding that everything is given, then our own, what do you call that, mindset will not be so much associated with what I good or bad, and we won't call it good or bad. You will just take it as it comes. And that is the reality. Nothing, the good and, as I told, opposites are mithya. That good and bad characterization, liking, not liking, characterization is all purely because it changes. What is likable today, tomorrow it becomes unlikable. What is desirable, so it keeps changing. If you really scrutinize, you will understand all opposites are mithya. Mithya meaning what? It is not, it is changing. Mithya means changing. Changing characteristic. And you can't call it even, I try to avoid using this word changing reality. Even though Shastra also says sometimes changing reality. Because it's a oxymoron, in my understanding. What is changing cannot be real. In my understanding, what is real is abhaditam satyam. What doesn't change. And that only changeless thing is only Ishvara's reality, your reality, and the reality of the whole prapancha, the Sat, Sanchit, Ananda, is the only reality. Everything else is changing. That is the overall understanding. To get to that understanding, you must be able to look at it relatively, that everything is given. That is that Ishvara. Ishvara is brought in because that we can easily appreciate. To really scrutinize, you will understand that every situation in your life, plus and minus, there is a lot of factors involved. Lot of things have happened. Because of that, a particular situation has happened in your life. It is not entirely your handiwork. So many other people are involved, so many other factors are involved. Country is involved, policies are involved, industry is involved. Suddenly, someday IT industry will be okay, someday a lot of layoffs will be there. So you cannot entirely say it's all you are making. Even that relative understanding of everything is given, that itself will reduce your pride in life. But because that is a reality, even at the relative level, that is a reality. That we have to be alert to that. Cannot allow pride to have a rule the roast in our life. Even though we say when we grow up, no, we must have pride, and then only we will grow well and all, that's all capacity. The sense just to pep up, the pep talk, what they say, no, even in management, they give pep talk to get certain things achieved in the industry or in the company and all that. It's all fine. You have to take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, they are saying they have got a certain objective, they want us to work that way. We can go ahead and keep doing, but heart of hearts we know these things are all only relative. The same paradigm, once the paradigm changes, the industry changes, then suddenly one fine morning that all these particular goods, a particular consumer good or a particular car is becoming outdated, electric cars become, and the petrol cars are banned, then what will happen with your automobile industry? It's all very relative. So we have to keep those things, the big picture in view, and that also will tell you that there is no place for pride in life. And pride only leads us to get more and more enmeshed in the relative realities. It doesn't allow us to inquire into the reality of life, ultimate reality, which is what we are. The discussion on Brahma Vidya and Atma Jnanam is to get us out of that focus and bring us to what is the real, what is the reality, what is the reality in life. For you to appreciate and inquire into that, you have to have a mindset which is devoid of all these crutches and props and all this pride, respect, manitvam, dambitvam, all these things we have discussed. Like once you have manitvam, you will have dambitvam. Once you have unnecessarily expecting respect from others, then in order to get the respect from others, you will start manipulating. You will become a pretentious person. Somehow you will get respect. So every quality not appreciated leads to some other quality which is again pulling you down. So amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa. So ahimsa is a value, but by doing a little himsa, you are able to get things done. By giving a bribe of 1 lakh, I am able to get a contract of 1 crore. I won't mind doing it. So because of that, some other fellow who is a genuine guy didn't get his contract. So you have done himsa. And that will come back to you. At some point in time, somebody else who is more powerful will take away the contract from you. At that time, you will say, it's all my karma. I did something bad some time back, so it comes back to me. So, himsa is not a value. Himsa is a value. And just because somebody hit you, you cannot immediately retaliate. And that is the shanti, accommodation. So one by one, if you look at all these values as nodal, it all will give you a very relative understanding of life. In the sense, a big picture, it will make you grounded as a person at the relative level. And once it makes you grounded as a person, then you will really look at, you will be able to open up your mind to what are the realities of life. What am I looking for? So the whole thing is on. That is why it is not to be meant for to be discussed in schools and all that. It is meant only for a mumukshu, only for a person who wants to be a karma yogi in life. Mumukshu is a person who has got this value for this total. What is Atma Jnana? What is Brahma Jnana? What is Ishvara Jnana? What is the reality of this Jiva Jagat Ishvara? I want to know. That sort of you are fired in that understanding. So you are first a mumukshu. And then then how do I live? Karma yoga. Whatever I need to do, I will do, keep doing properly without compromising on dharma. So that will give me a mindset. And under the karma yoga is all these values. So mumukshutvam, karma yoga, and then these values, then the good infrastructure, then the inquiry, then the understanding. So all these are connected. So first he has explained what it is all about, what is Jiva and what is Jagat and Vishwara, the 12 chapters. So 13th chapter when he is getting into is how to make it happen in your life. How to make it happen in your life. You have to have all these relative values. It has to become, it is a sadhana for the person who is a karma yogi. For a Siddha Purusha, it is already sadhya. For a saint, it is already like this. He will be like this only. So looking up to him, how he is able to do that, we can also learn and how to. That way also we can. That is why the people keep talking. Somebody asked me also, what is Siddha Purusha? I want to meet Siddha Purushas. Somebody asked me also. Siddha Purusha means what? I said, Purusha is Siddham. All of us, in ours, the Purusha is Siddham. If you understand that, you are a Siddha Purusha. So what is required is understanding what is Siddha Purusha rather than going in search of Siddha Purusha in some caves. So, whole thing is a question of understanding. Siddham is already what is available to you. And what is available is you, the being. And Purusha, that's called Purusha. Pura Ushati iti Purusha. Or second definition is Purnam isliye Purusha. So all that is you only, Purusha. You are called Purusha. Purusha has no other meaning except that you are Purnam here and now. And how I can be Purnam here and now? Only if I am a changeless being. If I am 5 feet 6 inches and all, definitely I cannot be Purnam. Somebody 5 feet 7 inches will be greater than me. So that is the sense. All these words and all this have to be connected. All whatever we have learned in 12 chapters, from the second chapter now, have to be connected. Then only this value, that is why Swamiji used to say, a value becomes a value in your life only when the value of the value is valuable to you.
Yeah.
It's a very famous statement by me. So the value of the value has to be valuable to you. For that, you must already be an inquirer in a relative sense. Already you want to, you want to sort out all the rough edges in your life, all your wrong understanding in life. So all those things you want to sort out. So only that sort of a person will have a value for a value. And he will understand what is valuable to me in life. Only what is valuable to me in life? Santosham. And Santosham is not available outside. Whatever is outside is, even when that's what we have discussed before also, Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. Even though in a particular situation you feel happy, it is not because the situation It is because in that situation your natural ananda is not disturbed. You are a pleased person. That is not disturbed. When you are in a temple, when you are doing the arati, that moment your ananda is not disturbed. So you think that the puja and the whole paraphernalia has made you happy. No. You are basically a happy person. This whole environment has ensured that peace is not disturbed. So you are looking for, every time you look for some happiness outside, what you are looking for is, I am looking for a pleased person in myself. So you are a pleased person, but you have mortgaged it to things happening outside. No, if these things happen only, I will be a pleased person. If these things happen only, I will keep on doing that throughout of life.
Yes.
Whereas, without understanding that the pleased person is my reality. So, go for the jugular. Understand that your reality is this. And for that you need a study. You have to study these things, keep studying, understand what it is all about. For that you need an infrastructure. For that you need a value structure. You have to address your day-to-day activities and pursuits in life. Make it amenable to this value structure. Don't compromise. So the whole life gets focused towards this understanding. So that is how these values will become. Unless we look at it that way, we will not be able to understand the value of the value and what is valuable to me. So that is how we have to study.
Swamiji, is there any whole day session on this chapter 13 being conducted?
Whole day session is there in that the sense. I have got that one word, as I told you, the one word series, the talk series, half an hour video talk series. We have done by Swamiji. We have already got the YouTube videos.
No,
I can share the entire bunch with you.
No, what I am asking you, chapter 13 alone, from morning till evening, if the information is bombarded on us, then we will start practicing.
We can do it.
No, actually, what I feel, Swamiji, it depends on our life transactions that we deal with on day-to-day basis. If our life transactions are being dealt with God as the only main purview, as a retired person, then I think getting into, this is just my opinion, getting into the mode of self-realization, chances are more. If I deal with a person who's a fraud all the time, and I am also have to deal with the fraud, then for me to get into the self-realization will take some more time. But I should not say fraud because I am committing a sin by saying fraud, which means I have to wait to realize that person also will get something for what he does. I just have to follow my path and go ahead with that. That's the understanding I got from what you said on this.
Yeah, that is why in these things, everywhere he is talking about what is the relative value.
Exactly.
Even in a relatively value, the pranahankara is a very important thing. Like there is no reason for you to be very proud in your life. Whatever you are doing, whatever situation, everything is given a sense of humility, a sense of bhakti bhavana. Everything is given to me. Okay, so that itself will take away the heartburn from your life to a large extent. Once the heartburn is not there, you will be more objective in any situation. Even if it is in the common parlance, a very difficult situation, you will be able to approach it objectively and do what is needed to be done and carry on, rather than getting bugged too much into this because of your investing so much onto your ahankara. That we should. That's what we are, at the relative level also. There is no place for pride. There is no place for pride. There is no place for misery also. Pride is what? Generally, pride is on a good situation you want to appropriate. I have done it. The opposite is misery. So there again, you don't have to feel it is called self-condemnation. I don't have to feel that this miserable situation is because of me. Why? Because once you say a good thing is because of me, then the miserable situation is also because of me. You are compelled to own up that. Whereas once you understand the pride situation, For a good situation is given to me, Bhagavanta dena hai. And when the bad situation comes also, I will be ready to receive it. Okay, this is also is happening. I will have to do what? So in both ways, that is why the relative value, Ishvara is brought in only to, what do you call, to enhance the possibility of relatively being a, what do you call, unalienated from Ishvara. Everything is in one samashti. I am not an individual alienated from the whole thing. And everything that is happening to me in my life, I don't have to say that it's all mine. It's all happening. I am a managing trustee to my own life. I have to do what I want to do. That's sort of an objectivity, relative level of objectivity. That is why Ishvara.
And again, Swamiji, many people who have lived like that life where they have self-realization, like many people, like our saints, our pontiffs, who have realized, they also had some kind of disease in their body, right? Like they had some kind of disease in themselves. So that is separate, and this is separate.
That is part of that. That is why in this life, even whether saint or anyone, your body, mind, senses, your emotions, even that, it's all part of the samashti. The reality, what you can own, is only the Siddha Purusha. That is the only reality you can own up in life, honestly speaking. That will come. Once you look at it, that will come. Eventually, they know. Only difference is they know. The saint knows. My own body is part of the prarabdha. So you will not so much get bugged by a disease or even what you call. That is why that Anandam, I have told before also, Anandam Brahmano Vidvan na pipedi kutachaneti. The sense, kutachaneti, katachaneti is for earlier, Anandamaya. For a person who understands thoroughly kutachaneti, the reason for fear is gone away from his life. Because when there is no second, where is the question of fear? So that is gone away. Even after that, then later also the same Upanishad tells, Kimaham sadhuna karavam, kimaham papam akaravam idi. That saint also may think, Ida na chiriya panirklame, Ida na chiriya panla. But what he will be able to do? Kimaham sadhuna karavam, kimaham papam akaravam iti. Atmanam pashyati, atmanam spranoti. He will submit everything to, it's all part of the reality. Abdina, he will be able to immediately see the reality of it. He will not try to condemn himself, he will not condemn others also. He will do it simultaneously. The same sentence he will do. Imaham papam akaravamiti, atmanam pashyati, atmanam sprunoti. Sprunoti meaning, very clearly he will see. He will not have any doubt. At that time also, something, illness happens, somebody comes and shouts at him. Even though he is a saint, somebody comes and shouts for whatever reason. Then he will think, okay, la, Bhagavan, Pastor, he won't get immediately react. How can you shout at me? No, say no, because he knows, he sees it clearly. They are all part of the changing situations. He doesn't own up. His owning up is only Ishvaroham. So that in the sense, it must be spontaneous. That is why it is called, for what is spontaneous for a saint, is for you it is a deliberate development of a value. So what is Siddha for the Jnani is sadhana and sadhya for you. So that sadhana and sadhya we are discussing. The idea is to become a Siddha Purusha. And Siddha Purusha is nothing but the understanding. So it's all seamless. You cannot compartmentalize. No, I will, all these values one by one, I will pick it up, then I will come to understanding. No. Unless you have value for the understanding, this will not happen. That is why your question of, self-realization is for retired people. It doesn't work. It is meant for every human being. And I felt that, for me, I felt that at the age of 20, 25 also, I felt that this is the reality. That way only it has given me a lot of strength to face situations in life, whatever come, what.
Actually, Swamiji, anger starts first with heartburn. Tell you the truth, I have analyzed why one person gets angry. Like, for example, I also get very angry very immediately, but I have seen with thought that it first burns somewhere and then the anger develops. How to, like you said, Ram, 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 say Ram, Ram, Ram 8 times, say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna 8 times, Swamiji. But the time difference between heartburn and Ram, Ram, Ram is only 2 seconds. But what happened? Heartburn takes its first place. After that, only Ram, Ram, Ram comes. So initial irritation and testing takes first place. We shout it out, then we realize, okay, we are shouting it out, and then we say Ram, 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 and we calm down within 5 minutes. So previously, if we were 1 hour angry, we are now 5 minutes angry.
Correct.
How to again break the heartburn? How to avoid the heartburn, Swamiji?
No, the thing is, as long as you are able to reduce that 1 hour to 5 minutes, thereafter, after some time, what will happen? That as the anger rises, you will be able to say Ram Ram. No, I will tell people around me, I am angry, let us not discuss now, we will discuss later. You will tell people around you also, when I am angry, let us not discuss. You make the cardinal rule in this house, when any of us are angry, we will not discuss. So like that is one thing. And then what will happen is, then at some point in time, the transition will happen. As the anger rises, you will not fill it out. At the thought level itself, then you will say, why I got angry? Because this is the situation. What is the antidote for that? This is what should be done to take care of that. So you will attack on the antidote part of it. In the sense, okay, if I take care of these things, there is a very chance that I won't get angry. So you will attack on the antidote part of it. You will find a way how to make the antidote for such situations which will ensure that I don't get angry on such situations. So more and more you are alert to that, you will find ways to improve. Definitely. That is the alert living. Again, as I said, the apramatta, the alert living is freedom. To really scrutinize, the alert living is the space between you and your personality. The ahankara is not a problem. Ahankara is you, that is a problem. Ahankara per se is not a problem. I say, as long as my ahankara does it, you will be able to get rid of it. But if you say I do it, then you own up the ahankara. Then there is no possibility of proving. Whereas now that's the freedom, the space between the aham and ahankara is called moksha. That is understanding life. So if you really scrutinize, all the relative values have got this absolute value of being as your reality as a basis. Then only this can be a value. That is why it said value is a value only when the value of the value is valuability. So it will improve your what you call your santushti. Ultimately, all of us are interested in santushti. Want to be a happy person, irrespective of situation, will keep changing. Not going to be the same, especially in today's world. Whatever is to change in 10 years, now it changes in 10 days. So you have to be alert, more alert. That is why I would say this understanding is more useful today compared to 70 years back. Swamiji always used to say that. And we see it happening now.
Now, Swamiji, someone coming and banging our car or someone scratching our car doesn't create anger. But erichal varudhu, and the erichal then comes to anger. But person when we take erichal and anger comes together. So we have to
that is right. The thought level and the manifestation. The manifestation only you can control. The thought will keep coming. That's why finally prajahati yata kaman sarvan partha manogadan. 1,000 thoughts, million thoughts varum. And 100 thoughts only will be very relevant where you have to act upon. Others come and go like a movie. Just let it pass. Don't have to really worry about good thoughts and bad thoughts. You want to act upon. That alertness has to be there. Act upon. The anger should not be manifesting to hurt somebody else. That is a difference between. That is a difference in this. What you call Swamiji's teaching. Swamiji will never say there are. Generally, people say good thoughts, bad thoughts. There is no good thoughts and bad thoughts. A thought becomes bad only when it manifests on others.
And we can say to someone who is listening to you only as saying, okay, I'm angry, we'll talk later. For corporate situations like our boss, immediate partners,
Just listen. That's why I'm telling you, for corporate situations, what I was telling you, what we should do now, that guy is angry with me or hurting me, keep that away. Just closely watch what are all the things he says. And even as he says, have a book and take notes. Then he will understand that even though he is trying to take out his anger on you, you are not receiving that anger. You are not getting hurt. You are making notes. You make notes. When the fellow talks to you in a rough and tough language, whatsoever it may be, have a notepad and make notes. What is this saying? What is the situation? That will take you away from concentrating on he is scolding me, that sort of situation. At the same time, you will become wiser. What is he trying to say? From that, whether I can make some sense, will be useful. And next day morning, from that, what you have made notes, what your antidote, what you want to really, how to want to go about, you write a nice mail, Vandanam and all, send it to him. That is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. It will be helpful to the company, helpful to him, and helpful to you.
Sure.
It's all, in the sense, you have to take it as a part of our growth. Cannot keep it outside. That professional is outside, the understanding is different, value is different. No, we have got only one life. We cannot compartmentalize.
Swami, on the same point, one of the other Swamiji's lecture which I have heard about 20 years ago, he used to say, if the boss shouts at you, see and enjoy how his mustache goes up and down.
He doesn't have a mustache.
Huh?
He doesn't have a mustache.
See how his mustache
that
goes
okay,
up and down.
What will happen sometimes, no? Even that they say, somebody says that also, that you smile. But that smile will provoke him further.
Exactly.
Because he wants you to get angry. That is why he is hurting you. Because his anger will be fulfilled only when you feel hurt. So if you smile, he will know very well that you are not getting hurt. That will make him further anger. That's why I am telling, instead of sporting a smile, or just be serious, attentive to him, what he says, and make notes. So that your mind is distracted from his anger, that he is hurting me or scolding me or whatever. And then respond positively when he is not angry, when next day, when you are able to analyze what it is, what you want to do about it, take his advice. So then he will also appreciate, in spite of my thing, he is coming out with some solution for that. Whether it is right or wrong, it's a different thing. But at least he is thinking in that direction. So all these things are very, very relevant. The Pratipaksha Bhavana, the antidote, that ensuring that you convert a seemingly bad situation into a proper situation by being objective about it, by bringing in the opposite sense, and you try to quench fire with water only. You can't quench fire with fire. You can quench fire with only water. So that we know, that this example tells you easily. But in the real time situation, we are not able to, what is water, what is fire? No, we are not cognizant. We think that fire should be replied with fire. Tit for tat. It doesn't work. That is why you need a balance of mind. And for the balance of mind, you need that space inside. And for that space inside, you need to have a basic understanding that whatever is happening outside, personality, job, etc., is part of the life, changing life. Whereas my reality is not that. That at least apatata jnana, a decent understanding after all these 12 chapters, at least that much understanding we should have. The reality of life is totally diverse from the situations and the personality and my growth, my position, my success, all those things, the relative world, whatever we are talking about, they are okay, they are available, we have to live that way. But basically we are all Bhagavan says, you are Ajopi Ave Atma Bhi Sanna, Ajopi Sanna, Ave Atma Bhi Sanna. He says Atma Bhi Sanna, he didn't say Brahman or Ishvara. He says Ajopi Sanna, Ave Atma Bhi Sanna. The Atma, the reality of you, is Abhyayam, changeless. Never born, never gone. Ajopi Sanna. We have gone through that sloka very extensively. I love that verse. Because that brings the whole context of life. And Bhagavan himself says. So that we should keep, that focus should be there, then the space will be there between what is happening in your personality and your life and this understand. The space will tell you how to respond, not react. When you react, you are as good as you are losing your space, you are losing your free will. To that extent, Swamiji says, you are no more a human being. You react, you are not a human being. Action brings reaction means what? You are mechanical. Where is your will? The will is totally mortgaged to the situation. That means you are not there. It is just action and reaction. Keeps happening like Newton's third law. That means you become a mechanical, you become a machine. Whereas we take pride in saying, calling ourselves, we are human beings. So that you have to be, for you to be a human being, you can't be a reactive person. You can only respond, not react. And all our anger, jealousy, all those things are manifestation of a reacting person. So that is why, even though we say we should get rid of anger, we don't. It's not that we have to get rid of anger. It is a question of I don't want to be a reacting person. And not that I have a value for not being a reacting person. I want to be a human being. I have got a value for it. Everyone reacts. Okay. That way you will gloss over it. But if you really deeply look at it, a reacting person is not a human being. When that is clear in our mind, I want to be minimum human being. Tunam narajanma durlabam. I don't want to compromise on that. Every day, every moment of my life, I want to live like a nara. That is why that mantahasam of Krishna, everywhere he has got a smile. Why? Because that space is there between him and what is happening around. He was also in the same war, he was also meeting Duryodhana every other day, but he never lost his smile. Mantahasam was always there. Because he knows it's all okay. It will happen. Even around him it was happening. You and I are nothing. So that is very important. You have to maintain that. That is why the chitta prasannata is one of the values. The sadhana chatushta sampannam, minimum qualification. One of the values is samadama samadhanam. These are important values. The samadhanam is what? Chitta prasannata, a cheerful disposition. Samadhanam means changing things will keep happening. Plus minus to hote rahega. So samadhana, chitta prasannata. That yoga says samadhi. Samadhi means you take out all your thoughts. Thoughts irundadane komodamana varudhu. Thoughts alla quickly. Just sit tight. And that how long you can sit tight? Someday or sometime or other you have to come out of the samadhi. When somebody disturbs you from samadhi also, they will get angry. In samadhi you will be okay. When somebody disturbs you from samadhi, I am in meditation, how are you disturbing? Immediately you will get angry. That means what? You are only in for more trouble, because removing the thoughts is not the question. Spite of the thoughts, you must be able to maintain the chitta prasannata. You must be able to see the space between you and your thoughts. Then only you will have a command over it. In the sense, at the end of the day, you cannot say these are all meant for somebody else. It is meant for a human being. When you say human being, you cannot exclude yourself. That is why the 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, age does not make a difference. And situations also do not make a difference. As you are grown, as you are an alert, a basic adult age, some whatever the word you you're going for a job or going for an education. That is the time you have to wake up to your reality. Till then, okay, parents and society has brought you up. All your limbs are in okay order. You have got a thinking faculty fairly well developed. By the time you are 15, 20, you are fairly well developed intellect and side. Your ego is there. From then onwards, you have to start being alert. You cannot leave that ownership to somebody else. My father did this, my mother did. No. You have to take ownership. Because every individual is a nara. Human being is a complete freedom. That is why he is not a karta, he is called karta bhukta. Nobody else can say that. You are given the kartrutvam because you have got the freedom. Freedom to make a mistake, freedom to not use, freedom to abuse, misuse, I have told. That 100% freedom is there. You have got 100% value for happiness, you have got 100% freedom to act, you have got 100% trust, the samashti, total. All are given to you in 100%. You have to discover that 100%. Then only you will be able to be happy. Because you don't have a choice. Very fact is, you want to be a 100% person. You want to be totally trusted. You want to be everyone whomsoever you trust. You want them to be trustworthy. And anything you want, no happiness, you should go away from. Anything you look at it, everything was 100%. And 100% is not going to be available in changing things. But changing things will keep changing. How it is going to be 100%? So, only way changing things can make you 100%, you have to understand that changing things will happen changing. Changing things will change. That understanding itself is 100%. Then you will not be surprised. Anything that happens, you will be able to accept that changing things change. I'm not looking for the changeless, it's changing. No, change is you. That is why you are able to see the changing. That's what I was always telling. You are able to see the changing world because you are changeless.
Mm-hmm.
So all these have a lot of connections. The sense, the understanding and the values and our life all well connected. That is how the sense. I always used to tell, that the being only, as I was always telling, Anuron Aniyan Mahato Maniyan. You reduce it, finally the awareness being, which is not even an Anu, when it manifests as Jagat, this is how it will be. Continuously changing, and you are the Anu, you are the awareness being. And you are not a particle, you are not time bound, not space bound. That sort of a being you are. That is why your manifestation is so Brahmandam, Brahman. Compared to Anu's manifestation or a nucleus manifestation or a proton's manifestation, as the particles become smaller and smaller, the manifestation is too big. By the same logic, the awareness being, which is your reality, when you manifest, you get Jagat. So that way everything is fully covered. Currently you have to only transact. You got your body, mind, senses. Everyone else has got their body, mind, senses. Panchabhuta is there. The trees and plants, animals are there. Everything you have to keep transacting. And as transactions go, changes will keep happening. And take them as such. Today, this moment is what is there. As Prapancha is the same. Last moment also. Next moment also. In between, the time factor is the creation of the mind. There is no last moment and next moment. There is only presence. So in that way, you don't need any crutches for you to accept, appreciate whatever is happening. In the sense, you have to come to this understanding from the relative values. Then the arm to be nothing. Just to get connected, fully connected, then only will be able to appreciate. And you will not look for excuses. You will live it. Moment to moment. Do not postpone. Yeah, I think it's a lot of food for thought.
Yes.
Swami, you used to say humans are ultimate evolution. You used to say human beings are ultimate evolution of God. Ultimate.
Yes,
evolution.
of course. Our ultimate in the sense, the only evolution possible is oneness with God. Go back to the origin. Go back to the origin means what? You have to understand. You don't have to do anything. You just have to understand oneness.
Correct.
That is the beauty. So we are in such a situation in life, we cannot miss this chance. That is why we should not say, we will go to Vaikuntham, Kailasam and all. Why postpone? Do it here. right now. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Udachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om
Shanti
Shanti
Shanti Shanti Shri
Harihi
Gurubhyo
Om Sri
Namaha
Gurubhyo
Harihi
Namaha
Om.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Om Swamiji.
Which paragraph we are, Prashant?
Verse 9 க்கு முன்னாடி paragraph.
Verse 9.
Janma Mrityu.
Janma Mrityu.
we have to
அதுக்கு
start.
முன்பு paragraph.
Okay.